stream. So I'm going to drop straight into the channeling state, get things going. So thank you for joining us. So I will connect with the Yahyel Extraterrestrials. So yes, so if you ask your questions in the chat, and super chat questions get priority. So if you make a super chat, excuse me, if you make a super chat donation, financial donation, and your question will get boosted to the top. So we've got some super chat questions already, so thank you very much, guys, for those questions. And I shall see you in a few moments. Well, in a maybe in an hour or so. Hello, Shivai, Earth humans, welcome. I am Tahinio of the Yayel. I am very glad to make acquaintance with your civilization in this form of communication, in this day at this time. I should like to introduce the idea of super chat questions. Those of you that make a super chat question will get priority answer. We will attempt to answer some of the other normal questions afterwards if we have time at the end of the session. However, often there are many super chat questions and we can only really get through the super chats. So feel free to make a financial donation to the channel. He very much appreciates it in the support of his work, and we appreciate it in the support of him, so we can use him as a conduit, as a vehicle, as a telepathic communication device to interact with your civilization in this way at this time. So, with that said, we shall hand this straight over to the question and answer modality and to begin to answer your super chat questions. Shibai. So, question from Fotil. Last Saturday you replied, I have a galactic connection with Egypt, Orion and desert worlds. We can't talk about now. Why and when will you be able to? Typical human response, no offence. Always impatient and as ever. Can't wait for things to happen in their perfect timing, no offence. Patience is a virtue, as they say. One moment. For they are connected to civilizations that haven't yet really openly interacted with your world to a great degree. They are connected to civilizations that in the past somewhat had connections to dark service to self energies, have predominantly transcended that and left them behind, as your world is currently doing. And so there is some degree of fear amongst the Galactic Federation, amongst the Council of Light governing your world, that interaction between yourselves and this world may bring about some remembrance of the old energies, the old vibrations that existed between you, amplify them and trigger you into acting in old negative fighting fire with fire styles of modality in your reality. So it has been advised by the Galactic Council of Light, and we do not really have a name, we are just a kind of alliance, but we know you understand these words in your reality. It has been advised by the elders, that we may term them, by those wise ones that oversee the advancement of your world and set limits and boundaries as to what beings can interact when for your own good and the good of the greater whole and the evolution of consciousness and the galactic frequencies as a whole, that these beings and this civilization should refrain from interacting with your civilization until a time further in the future, somewhere between 10 and 27 years, we sense, before interacting for fear of occurrence of what we have just stated. We hope this makes sense. So, question from Law of One. What's the name, passion, abilities of my feline look Anuhet's counterpart? Also, does thus being have no gender and can dematerialize into his physical body? One moment. Well, these entities are highly telepathic, highly empathic, highly prolific in the ability to manifest their reality. One of the interests of this civilization, and this being in specific, is the idea of physical manifestation in alignment with the frequencies of love, in alignment with the frequencies of joy, in alignment with the frequencies of the greatest well-being for all, i.e. the idea of heart-centered manifestation, really tuning into the heart, tuning into what it is the heart's consciousness wants, what it is the higher self wants, what it is your soul wants, and what it is that is most beneficial for the evolution of your galactic energy and the evolution of the universe as a whole. The idea of heart-centered, love-oriented, service to others, including service to self, because you are part of the whole, oriented magic, we may say. This is, some of these energies have simmered down into your earth plane template in the form of what has been known as magic spells, manic manifestation, the idea of working with symbology, the idea of working with imagery, the idea of working with physical organizations of specific frequencies, specific dimensional gateways in the form of the creation of images, symbology, amulets, and the like, iconography, for the purpose of creating what has been termed in your past as magic spells. Really just the idea that you are creating vibrational frequencies within your reality in physical form to remind you to maintain that physical frequency within yourself, so that you are able to reflect those frequencies out into your atmosphere, your stratosphere, your galactic spiral energies that emanate from the core of the spiral of your galaxy, to amplify these frequencies and emanate and radiate them out into your reality for the purpose of manifesting that which you desire to manifest in accordance and alignment with the desires of the higher self, the soul, the galactic core, source, and your heart-centered energy. We hope this assists you at this time. Also, does thus being have no gender and can dematerialize his physical body? That is kind of a oxymoron in the question. Does this being have no gender and can dematerialize his body? Would his not suggest gender? And we sense you are tapping into something that he does have physical gender to some degree in this reality, although he has fully embodied within this male gender oriented vehicle the idea of his feminine essence, and thus the ability to balance polarities and move in non-physical realms to a great degree. Although this being is still somewhat tied to the physical vehicle, and though has the ability to go into a non-physical state, it is not germane to his natural way of being. So, a question from Cosmic Sarai. Will I be involved with introducing the hybrid children to human society in the near future? What is my role with the Syrians? One moment. Yes, we sense you have a strong connection to the hybrid children. The idea that you embody very much the idea of love, of compassion, of the feminine energy, of nurturing and growth and caring. The idea of the ability to tune into your feminine essence and naturally feel into, use your perhaps intuition to tune in to the energy of these beings and sense what is best for them. And so also that we sense you have had some interaction on our ships, on the Yayel motherships, interaction with specific beings, specific entities, and specific consciousnesses that are tied to the human hybridization programming and the program and the nurturing of the hybrid children. You may or may not remember consciously at this time your interactions on the ships, though we sense you will be remembering more and more in dream time, in the waking state, that you have actually been aboard our ships, specifically our mothership stationed at this time over the Sedona vortex in the US. For this will be one of the preliminary points where the hybrid children are actually introduced into your reality and begin to step down onto the physical plane and interact more and more with human beings around this area at this time, who are drawn to the area for their natural resonance, their gifts, their psychic abilities, their connections with the extraterrestrials, and interdimensional portals, and an innate knowing within themselves that they are to play a part in the expansion and the exploration of the introduction of the hybrid children into your reality, into this area, which will be, as we have said, one of the preliminary vortexes where the hybrid children, and to some extent they are already doing, stepping down off our ships into this area, feeling the earth, feeling the energies in this realm, exploring the vortexes, exploring the cliffs, largely at night when there are not too many humans around, apart from those that are destined to get glimpses of them and suspect there is something bizarre going on in this area, which will introduce them to the further exploration of the idea of extraterrestrial contact. So, yes, and we may suggest, if you feel drawn to, spend some time in the Sedona area, aligning with the frequencies of the vortexes in this area, aligning with the frequencies that the hybrid children and our ships are introducing into the land, that will begin to familiarize yourself with the frequencies of the hybrid children, of our ships, of ourselves, and will, in a sense, begin to assist you in the remembering. It will jog vibrational memories of interactions with the hybrid children on our ships, in the astral realm, in dream time, and to some extent in the physical realm, although we sense you do not fully remember these interactions at this time. And so we would offer forth this advice to many of you in your reality, that if you feel the pull to be part of interacting with the hybrid children, to be part of acclimatizing the hybrid children to interaction with your civilization, with your reality at this time, that you spend some time in the Sedona vortex, spend some time exploring the red rocks, the mountains, the hill walks, the climbs around, and just get a feel for the land. And notice how it feels kind of different. It feels kind of energetically unusual. And so this is because you are sensing into the energies of the hybrid beings, the hybrid children, the hybrid entities, and it will assist all of you in beginning to remember the memories of interactions that many of you have already had but do not remember, for it has been agreed on from a higher level that you would erase these memories until a time when you are more ready to recall these memories. So, part 2 from Cosmic Sarai. What is my role with the Syrians? One moment. Well, the idea is that the Syrians and the humans and the hybrids are creating a kind of vibrational stabilization grid. That the idea that humanity operating in a third stroke fourth density reality, third density moving to fourth density, many of the hybrids operating in a fourth density and some beginning to move into fifth density, and entities in the Sirius system, high fifth density, shifting into sixth density, is creating a kind of vibrational, evolutionary, and somewhat spiral in nature triangle trinity system of energy that is very stabilizing and very beneficial to the evolution of your reality and the introduction of the hybrid children in reality. So the idea is that by interacting with the Syrian system and also taking on a counterpart within the Syrian system, which we sense you have, you are being part of this trinity vortex energy that is operating as a kind of ascension vortex spiral of energy in various areas of your galaxy. And it is no coincidence that it is the Syrian system for it, has been very long understood that the specific location of the Sirius star appearing as one single star in your reality, actually a trinary system in itself, the location of this star in your galaxy is actually very vibrationally compatible with the reverberation of frequencies and energies between your system and that system to create a kind of upliftment energy vortex spiral that is very beneficial to the ascension, the frequency rise, and the shift of consciousness in your reality at this time, and also the introduction of the idea of energies of intergalactic contact, of interaction with interstellar civilizations, interdimensional civilizations, and intergalactic civilizations with your reality, and specifically, in your case, the hybrid children. We hope this assists you and makes sense. So, another question from Law of One. What density incarnations do I have in Pleiades? Largely 6 density incarnations. While the Pleiadians are very much famous for the apparently physical beings, they are actually mostly 6 density entities that are taking on physical appearances for the purpose of interaction within your reality. So predominantly 6th density. Question from Babito7. A few weeks ago, you told me that I don't have hybrid children for a specific reason, but last week you told me to be in nature to connect with my hybrid children. Now, do I have hybrid children or not? Interesting question. One moment. We are sensing that you do not have hybrid children, genetically speaking. You have not been directly involved in the production of these beings. However, you are heavily involved in this program. And there are beings and entities connected to you vibrationally on a soul level that are wishing to interact with you at this time. So we are sensing on a soul level, in a sense, you have hybrid children because they are aspects of your soul, counterparts in a sense. However, not genetically produced, although we are sensing there might actually be small portions of your DNA in some of them. So in a sense, you are not directly their parents, as in primary offerers of genetic material. However, many of the hybrid children are made up of many DNAs from many fathers and mothers in the Zeta Gray civilization, in the human civilization. So in some cases there may be 18, 19, 20 or more parents, in a sense, donating DNA, genetic material, to the production of the hybrid children. And so while you have not been involved in the primary donation of genetic material, we sense there may be some children that have very low amounts of your genetic material in their being. One moment. Actually, we are receiving information from the Zeta Greys that there may actually be children, they are suggesting there are children that actually have higher levels of DNA, genetic material in their system. One moment. They are now telling us that you have been with them for a long time. One moment. We are sensing there has been a timeline split, and your incessant focus upon the hybrid children has actually shifted you to a timeline where you have hybrid children now, whereas previously you didn't. This is a different version of you, a different timeline, a different reality. You have created a reality where you have hybrid children. Congratulations on the timeline split. So, a question on from Dan K. Schroeder. What can you share with me about this craft and its occupants, which I interacted with on July 29th, 2022 in Gleason, Wisconsin, WI? And so Dan shared this video link with the channel prior to this transmission. So one moment, we will tune in. We are sensing this ship is connected to Arcturus. Somewhat unusual, as the Arcturans do not readily bring their ships into your skies. There is a specific reason for these beings entering into the space where they were able to interact with yourself. We sense there were other beings on board from other systems. There were some hybrids on board. It was a co-piloted Arcturus hybrid ship, we are sensing. The energies, the beings, energies, not too much difference from our perspective, were part of your soul family, soul counterparts in a sense. There were other beings on board, counterparts of others in your group. There were others watching. There were others seeing this sighting with you, we sense. Something to do with healing the vibrations of the group, of rebalancing the energies of the beings that saw this ship. Projecting heart-centered energies into the group, rebalancing the chakras, hence the multiple coloured energies emitting from the craft. Assisting in the grounding of those beings at the time. Uplifting and expanding the consciousness of the beings that witness this craft. Was this a group sighting? We are sensing there was more than one of you that saw this. They were communicating energies to several beings at the time. The ground crew, as they refer to them. They are very much connected to working with portals, portal energy, and have come through in a portal that was open at that time. An energetic vibrational portal into your sphere. There was one specific being, a very tall entity, that looked somewhat like a hybrid or a Zeta Grey, very tall, large head, but was actually Arcturan, who has and will be interacting with you more in the dream space, in astral, in time portals that you can access through meditation. He's suggesting that you spend time meditating and remembering this ship, and specifically the energies that were associated with the sighting of this ship. And this will assist you in harmonizing to his frequency, remembering experiences of contact you have already had with him, and being able to access more dimensions of contact in the future. This is all for now. So, a question from Sukhbir Singh. Today again I saw light in night sky but didn't felt any sensation. Please tell about that. Well, it is the idea that sightings, when ships show themselves to you in physical reality, they do not always have the same agenda, not gender. They often have very different genders, male, female, and neutral. So the idea is that when the ships show themselves to you in the sky, in the night sky, occasionally in the day sky, they do not always have the same reason for doing so. Sometimes it will be to give you, in a sense, an energetic hit to allow you to share some of their energy for the idea of remembrance of these energies that you know from a long time ago, linearly speaking, on a soul level, energies you have partaken from in the future, far distant future also, and deeply on a soul level. So sometimes the ships are showing themselves to you and actually making a very direct intent to connect with you on an energetic level, so that you can experience energies that you recognize on a soul level, energies that you recognize from interactions with them in the dream time to begin to jog memories of dream interactions, astral interactions, physical interactions, and allow you to acclimatize to their frequency and energy and begin to come to recognize their energy so that you understand what is occurring in future interactions, future contact experiences. Other times, these ships are often further away, so you don't feel their energy so naturally. Also, they are making an effort to keep their frequency contained, so you do not feel the energy so much. And often in these sightings, the purpose is to get you thinking, to get you pondering, to get you exploring, to show you a glimpse of something in another world, to get you to, in a sense, give you a nudge or give you the opportunity to be nudged onto a new timeline, a new reality. For the idea is that when you see these ships in your skies and you're not quite sure what you've seen, it will often cause a expansion of consciousness. It will often cause much time in you pondering, meditating, going inwards, coming to conclusions about what it could be, what it could not be. And so this actually shifts you into a new timeline of exploration into the idea of extraterrestrials, ufology, extraterrestrial contact, interdimensionality, spiritual growth, spiritual awakening. And so often they want to give you very subtle sightings just because they understand that where you are in your consciousness at that time, you only need to see a very small glimpse of something different to nudge you onto a new timeline. So it is an orchestration. It is a very carefully articulated agenda from their perspective, tuning into your consciousness on many levels: your subconscious, your conscious, your superconscious, your soul level, your oversoul level, the level of your galactic consciousness, the level of your whole consciousness. And they tune into this energy to sense into what would be most beneficial for you in that moment to assist you in shifting to a higher timeline, or giving you the opportunity to choose a higher timeline for yourself through the exploration of higher frequency reality. We hope this assists you and answers your question. So, a question from Law of One. How many incarnations do I have in the Anuhet race? So we are sensing we are in the midst of a timeline split in your reality. And so we would like to share with you this at this time. You are actually creating your own reality in the moment. So as we have previously touched on this to a degree with the recent communication a few minutes ago with Babito 7, about how he has actually shifted timelines to a reality where he actually now does have hybrid children, whereas he previously didn't. So the idea is that you are actually creating your reality in the moment. Past and future are illusions. So yes, to a certain degree, there are soul contracts. Prior to this incarnation, you chose to have specific connections to specific realities, to explore specific things at specific times. However, understand now, at this specific timing in your reality, you are, in a sense, many of you, reaching the edge of your soul contracts, reaching the completion of certain realities, and entering into a reality where you are becoming much more free to create what it is you prefer in each and every given moment. And as you more come to understand the nature of reality, As you more come to understand the nature of time and space as a kind of cosmic bubble created around yourselves in each and every given moment, as you more come to understand that you are, in a sense, fragments of source, and in that holographic fragments of source containing the whole, you have been made in the image of God, and you are bestowed with the ability to create your own reality. You may also come to understand that time is an illusion. Time does not exist. There is one infinite self coexisting here and now, and that is us. Within that, we have managed to fracture ourselves off into many different timelines, many different realities, many different experiences, depending on specific frequencies we have chosen. And so what you call time in your reality is just yourself as a conscious creator of your reality, as an image of God, shifting your frequency in each and every given moment, which causes the illusion of time and space, where you're actually just creating a different exploration of consciousness in each and every given moment. So the idea is that there is no past, there is no future, there is just us as infinite creation, for we are never disconnected from the infinite, but we have chosen to focus our frequency in a specific dimensional realm created by the frequency we resonate at, to have the illusion of time and space, the illusion of separation, which is now dissolving in your reality once and forevermore, the illusion of autonomy. And so the idea is that we are source consciousness. You have no past, you have no future, only that which you choose to experience, choose to create. The past is a complete illusion. It never really happened, in a sense. Your past is no more your past than our past, or your next door neighbor's past, or your dog's past. They are just other vibrations coexisting within the infinite dream of reality. And so as you come to understand this, as this comes to sink in on a conscious level, you can use this to recreate your past, to create your future. And so the idea is that you can actually create a reality where your soul is changing. So if you can view your soul as a multidimensional, amorphous entity, constantly fluctuating, constantly shifting vibration, constantly shifting reality, and understand that your beliefs about what your past was are affecting your soul consciousness in this moment, and counterparts that are actually aspects of your soul, these beings you talk of, as in how many incarnations do I have in the Anu Het race? The secret is you are actually creating this in the moment. There is no fixed solid soul. There is no fixed past. So you can actually choose. So when you ask us this question, we are sensing into vibrational fields. We are sensing into your energetic being, and we are sensing into the vibration of what is being co-created between us in the moment. But it is not solid, it is not set in stone, everything is malleable. So the question is not so much how many incarnations do I have in the Anu Het race. The question is, how many incarnations do I wish to create from this moment within the Anu Het race? We hope this assists you. One moment. The channel is regenerating. So, question from Law of One. When is the timeline that anti-aging can happen? We sense this is in your far distant future. For while regeneration of the physical body is possible, while in a sense the ability to rejuvenate your physical body to the point where you have a younger genetic age, cellular age, we could say, and this is very possible in the moment. So through the process of detoxification, through the process of aligning to your highest excitement, your calling, your bliss, and allowing the love light frequencies to absorb into your body, through the process of proper diets, through the process of proper relaxation, proper meditation, proper regeneration, it is possible to rejuvenate the cellular age of your body to some degree. So in a sense, anti-aging is already available to you now in your reality. However, to truly, from our perspective, what you would call anti-age, you would have to step out of the time-bound reality. And as we have previously stated, time does not actually exist. However, it is the agreement that you will continue to experience the illusion of time, the experience of time in your physical reality for at least 1,000 more of your years. So the ability to truly anti-age will not occur in your reality until you step into a vibrational density where time, space constraints are no longer a part of your world. We hope this makes sense. So, a question from Sukhbir Singh. Please tell about my last incarnation in detail. Also, please share any parallel life after graduating 4th density lessons. Why I choose this path, please tell. Please tell about my last incarnation in detail. Also, please share any parallel life after graduating 4th density lessons. Why I chosen this path, please tell. So, Sukhbir Singh would like to know about his past incarnation. One moment. We are sensing you were involved in World War II. We sense you were an American pilot of a fighter plane, propeller plane. You were connected to the sightings of what were known as Foo Fighters at the time. These lights that were known to observe these World War II craft and interacted with them from time to time. So you were, even in this life, part of the timeline of the exploration of extraterrestrial contact in your world. You were disciplined in the military for talking about these sightings, told to keep quiet. That this was top secret information you should not share. However, you continued to speak and came to an untimely demise due to your willingness to not interact with the generals within your military. Also, please share any parallel life after graduating 4th density lessons. Why I choose this path, please tell. So, the completion of 4th density is the completion of the dimension of unconditional love and service to others, and the shift into non-physical 5th density reality. So we sense that in the 5th density non-physical reality, you explored the idea of interaction with angelic beings, which, though high 6th density entities in themselves, have the ability to interact with 5th density very easily due to it being a highly non-physical consciousness. And even though 5th density generally isn't so oriented around service to other beings, it is generally an exploration of the learning of the frameworks of reality, the nature of reality, the ability to manifest in the non-physical, the ability to contract your consciousness within the non-physical, and such lessons. We sense you specifically chose to learn about the idea of service to others with angelic beings in 5th density, so that when you entered into 6th density, you were highly wise in this area and were able to assist the evolution of humanity and the evolution of this own aspect of your own soul to a great degree. So, a question from Zen X Trinity. What starseed origin am I? We sense, Zen X, you have many connections to the hybrid civilizations, specifically the Shikani, Sasani, also the Yayel, the hybrid children. These are the strongest connections we sense to share with you at this time. So, a question from Law of One. How can I deal well with air pollution, microdust? One moment. The idea of the thorough detoxification of your system. The idea of eating well, eating good fruits, plant-based diets, good vitamin and mineral intake, good levels of exercise, good levels of meditation, harmonization of the vehicle, spending time in nature regularly. Do not confine yourself just to inner buildings. Good levels of sun intake. This would be our advice to you at this time. A question from Frederick Zill. What's my lineage, purpose, role with the blue avians? One moment. We sense predominantly the idea of connecting to their frequencies for the purpose of the upliftment of your civilization, the realignment and attunement of your civilization to a frequency level that is strongly embodied by the blue avian beings. The idea of working with the colors represented by the blue avians, for the idea is, it is no coincidence, the color of the feathers of the blue avian beings. They create a very specific harmony, a very specific resonance that is very connected to the vibration, the frequency of themselves, of their civilization. Very strongly connected to the higher dimensional realms, the higher dimensional realities. So the idea is that the blue avians represent a very high frequency resonance, very high frequency state of being, a very high frequency consciousness. Can be somewhat destabilizing to your third stroke fourth density reality. For being such high frequency, it can knock people off center, so to speak, hence why there has been limited interaction between themselves and your civilization at this time. However, you are moving into a portal over the next few years, specifically beginning 2023, where your reality, your world is becoming acclimatized to many different vibrations, to many different frequencies that will enable the blue avian beings to interact with your reality more and more. So part of the interaction with us and part of the sharing of the blue avian frequencies with your reality at this time, for we are in a sense acting as step down transformers for some of the high frequency blue avian energies into your reality at this time. So all of you partaking in this transmission of consciousness, in listening to us at this time, are receiving downloads of the blue avian energies. This is part of the acclimatization to the blue avian frequencies moving into 2023, preparing those of you here at this time to interact with the blue avian consciousness more and more in the future, if you wish to, if you desire to. And so the idea is that the blue avians represent a very high frequency energy, a very healing energy, a very harmonious energy that your reality is not quite ready for at this time. But beginning the latter half of 2023, your reality, we sense on this timeline, the most likely timeline we are heading down from here, we project, we sense, your reality will be ready to interact with the blue avian frequencies to a higher degree, to bring in these high dimensional frequencies, these high dimensional healing energies, and these high dimensional blue light rays that will assist the rebalancing of the energy field of your earth, that will assist the rebalancing of the core of your earth, and will assist the healing of many beings in your world, yourselves included, on many levels. So we hope this helps you. One moment. The channel is regenerating, regenerating, regenerating. One moment. So, question from Sukhbir Singh. Do I have hybrid children? Any specific things you'd like to share with me? How you see my future timeline? Will I get Australian study visa? And when? Any guess? One moment. So, as we have previously iterated in previous answers, the idea is that you are coming to a specific splitting in your timeline, hence the bizarre answers with Babito 7 and the answers we are given to Law of One. The idea is that you are reaching a specific threshold, a specific climate in your reality where the soul agreements, the soul contracts many of you had between yourselves and other entities as you entered into this dimension are in a sense coming to an end, in a sense becoming more flexible. It was part of the soul contracts you took at this time to send you on a pathway of remembering who you are, remembering your ability as creators of your reality, remembering that past and future are an illusion, projections of your consciousness from this moment, and that you can change your past as readily as you can change your future, and you can begin to change your soul contracts. Many of you are reaching a point in this timeline where the soul contracts you have previously had were for the purpose of getting you to this point where you realize that you are actually the co-creators of your reality in each and every given moment, and you actually have the ability to change your past, to change your soul contracts, and to change your future, of course. And so the idea is that when you ask a question such as, do I have incarnations? Do I have connections with the hybrid children? What is occurring is that you are giving out a vibration to the universe of desiring to have connections with the hybrid children, and this is reflecting back to you, and you are shifting to a timeline of many where you have connections with the hybrid children. So, as we have stated previous to this call, and this is more likely the modality we will be sharing with you. This is more likely the way we will be communicating with you in future interactions, unless we feel specific connections with your higher self, specific connections from your soul that are suggesting we speak otherwise. We will be pointing out to you that you are actually creating your reality from this present moment. So the question is, do you desire to shift to a timeline within infinite parallel realities and within many that are relevant for you where you have hybrid children? This is your choice. We are at a specific gateway in your reality. We are at a specific timeline split. The decisions you take now as to what to focus upon in your reality will create your future timelines, will create your future reality. So we suggest you think long and hard about this. Alternatively, tune in to the frequency of your heart, sense into what your heart desires, sense into what your higher self desires, and from this perspective, ask yourself, do I desire to shift to a timeline? Do I desire to shift to a parallel reality of many where I have hybrid children? And so it is actually your choice. It is actually your ability now, we sense moving forward, to shift timelines so dramatically and so radically that you can actually alter your past. You can actually shift to a timeline where, yes, you remembered having abduction experiences with the Zeta Greys, the parallel reality of humans from another timeline that destroyed its reality and had to tunnel through to this reality to create a hybrid species, to prolong the continuity of its civilization. Do I wish to tune to a timeline? For tuning is exactly how you shift timelines, by changing your frequency, by taking on a belief that you have hybrid children. You are tuning to a timeline where you have hybrid children. So, do you desire to shift to a timeline where you were part of the extraterrestrial abduction program, where you had abduction experiences, where the Zeta Greys in somewhat scary encounters, in somewhat tumultuous and somewhat, in some cases, terrifying encounters, extracted DNA, extracted eggs and sperm, depending on your gender. We are speaking to all of you now. Is this a sacrifice you are willing to take? For the idea is that if you have hybrid children, you have been part of the abduction program, you have had experiences on the Zeta Grey ships that have somewhat caused trauma in your energy body, in your emotional bodies. Would you like to shift to this timeline? Would you like to take on this burden of having to remember these memories that you have created for yourself? Perhaps knowing that you have actually created these memories, created this past, and created this timeline for yourself will lighten the load somewhat and make it much less scary. Knowing that you can choose to have the scary memories, the scary past or not. However, we suggest to you, is it in your hearts? Is it in the frequency of your higher mind? Is it in the consciousness of your excitement? Do you feel excited to have been part of the abduction program, the abduction phenomena? Do you feel excited to have been part of the experiences of many of you of driving down the road, having missing time, and then recalling being on strange ships, in strange spaces, interacting with strange beings, being levitated through the roofs of your house, being levitated through the windows and the walls, being connected to timelines and dimensions that blow your mind and blow your reality and bring you back to the center point of realizing that reality is all there is, that vibration is all there is, and you can create whatever you wish and desire from the present moment. So the question heretofore we will likely be offering to you in the future is, do you desire to create a timeline? Do you desire to create a reality? Do you desire to shift to a parallel reality? Do you desire to create a timeline split where you are part of the hybridization program, where you have hybrid children, and you will be assisting, most likely, in the introduction and the acclimatization of these beings into your reality forevermore? So, again, and perhaps on a more comprehensible waveform, perhaps on a more comprehensible understanding, the question is, how you see my future timeline? Will I get Australian study visa, and when? Any guess? So we could tap into potential timelines, and we may do in a few moments. However, we would remind you that as you can alter your past, you can most definitely alter your future. So the idea is, how excited are you by the idea of receiving your Australian study visa? How excited are you to shift to the parallel reality where you are able to study in Australia? Does it resonate on all levels of your being? Does it resonate on all levels of your core? Tune into your heart. Does it feel like your destiny? Does it feel like your purpose? Does it feel like your mission? Does it feel like the most exciting thing you can create in your reality? And if you feel in on all levels of your being, and you answer yes, 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 this is my most exciting timeline. Yes, 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 I believe I create my reality. Yes, 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 this is an epic journey for me moving forward. I would love to move to the Australia plane and explore this reality. Then the idea is we can give you a likelihood of 90+%, around 92% of shifting into this timeline. If there is some doubt, if you are saying to yourself, I'm not sure actually, maybe there's a more exciting way I can explore my reality, the frequency would be much less. However, we are sensing that it is relevant for the exploration of your reality. We are sensing it is relevant for the exploration of your future. And we are sensing and accepting, if you accept, that there is a high probability, 92% plus, that you will get this visa if you stay aligned on all levels of your being, if you believe it will manifest, and if you trust that you are the creator of your timeline and you have the ability to split timelines to whichever you wish. Trust, believe, and set yourself free. So, a question from Son of What? Have Yayels been making contact with me? One moment. Yes, very much so. We sense this. In dream time particularly, we sense you have seen some lights in the sky which you wrote off as nothing, which were interactions with the Yayel class. We sense there will be more of these. Keep your eyes to the skies and be more open-minded as to what the lights moving in your skies are. And pay attention to your dream space. Any unusual dreams that feel unusually energized, slightly different, slightly bizarre, often in a classroom style scenario where you are being taught something, often in what may feel like a shopping mall with lots of beings moving around, coming and going, coffee areas, visions of being in very, very tall buildings, and also specifically for you, dreams of train tracks and trains connecting to moving timelines and interacting with new beings, stationing in new realities, new worlds. Pay attention to your dreams indeed, dear one. So, a question from Amy Ratnawati Utami. Amaya Starseed. What origin? One moment, Amy. We sense you have connections to the Pleiadian system. The Pleiadian love light frequencies and the Pleiadian core, of which we will be talking more of in the future. Look to the Pleiades, look up on a star map where the Pleiades system is in your sky. Spend some time meditating, sitting outside after dark, observing the Pleiadian star cluster and feeling the energies of the Pleiadian system, feeling the energies that emanate from this star cluster, and trust that this is downloading into you energies and vibrations that will allow you to connect with your Pleiadian counterpart specifically more in the future. We hope this helps. So, another question from Law of One. Then do I have 7th density Pleiadian counterpart too? I heard that 7 is my lucky number in Pleiades. And is there 6th density Sasani being in future too? So the idea is that 7th density is the level of source, the level of God. So there is only one being in 7th density, and that is God, that is source. The idea that we were pointing to is the idea that your Pleiadian counterpart in 6th density is very closely vibrationally aligned to 7th density. In a sense, is on the cusp of shifting into 7th density, into return to source consciousness, and thus can very much embody the idea of source consciousness to a very high degree in 6th density. Yes, there is, in a sense, 6th density Sasani being in the future. However, by this time, they would no longer really be identified as Sasani, for they would have gone through such a energetic and vibrational transformation that they would really be unrecognizable to the idea of what you would call Sasani. Sukhbir Singh says, do I have any incarnation as famous person? So the idea is that yes, and in a sense you all do. For the idea is that by taking multiple incarnations in human reality, you have chosen to experience all the polar opposites, all the differences, all the highs, all the lows. So you have all been the king or the queen. You have all been the peasant or the pauper. You have all been the warrior. You have all been the victim. You have all been famous. You have all been infamous. You have all been mediocre. You have all been great. You have all at this time experienced all polarities of experience, an incarnation in human reality. For if you hadn't, you would not be on the cusp of the shift into fourth density reality. So the vast majority of you have experienced all polarities of fame, non-fame, power, lack of power, great worth, great lack of self-worth, great indifference, great strength. You have all experienced the idea of being famous, we would say. So, another question from Dan Schroeder. I saw another craft that appeared to travel through portals September the 4th, 2022 in Menominee, Michigan. Can you tell me anything about this craft and its occupants? One moment. We sense this craft was a craft of a hybrid species that the channel refers to as the Pleiadian. The Pleiadian have very strong grounding energy, very healing energy, very healthy beings, very uplifting energy, very uplifting core vibration. The channel will be sharing more information from the Pleiadian civilization in the future. There are many timeline splits from this point forward. So understand that what the channel shares and what you choose to buy into is vital at this time. However, it is our understanding that this craft was one of the Pleiadian civilization, and there will be more information shared upon this in the future. Good luck and Shivai. That was a message from the Pleiadian. So, another question from Law of One. Is there any name or vibrational term that I can utilize to connect with my feline look Anuket counterpart, and what density civilization is Anuket race? We are being given the symbol. The symbol. And also at this time we are connecting to the energy of a location known as symbol, Abu Simbel temple in Egypt, and the symbol of the Ankh. The Egyptian Ankh, the cross with the circle upon the top, can assist you in connecting to this race. And so this race is fourth density shifting into fifth density. So Dan Schroeder was talking about the Gleason sighting was just me. However, there were hundreds of people around me that were not aware that I was calling in the ETs in and asking them for genetic upgrades for myself and all of them. Yes, we sense that several of these beings, many of these beings, were synchronistically meant to be there at this time. And we do sense that some of them actually saw the ship. One or two. And it was no coincidence these people were there. They agreed this on a vibrational level and received a lot from the experience vibrationally, even those that were completely unaware it was occurring. So, a question from Anderson. Any message for me? Thanks. One moment. Yes, there are ships coming in your night sky soon. Be aware of any activity in your night skies. Be aware that it is not a coincidence. Sightings that may appear just to be satellites may be a lot more. There are beings that wish to interact with you, specifically from the Sirius system, a Sirius counterpart, a Sirius entity, part of the Sirius race. The frequencies and energy you experience during the sighting will be confirmation that it was an extraterrestrial craft. There will be an energetic experience that goes along with the sighting of the craft. Shivai, good day. So, a question from Chia Pei Chang. I feel special connection with Kryon. Can you tell me more about it? Do I ever work with him in different dimensions or coming here for this mission? One moment. Yes, Kryon is an entity that works with many beings in your reality, on many dimensions, on many levels of consciousness. The idea is that when you are even listening to communications with Kryon over your internet portal, the idea is that there are vibrational resonances, kind of magnetic fields that are transmitted through the communication and interacting with you on many dimensions and in many ways that you are perhaps not fully conscious of at this time. So this is one way you are communicating with Kryon. The idea that when you are listening to a transmission of this entity over YouTube, you are actually connecting with his vibrational field, connecting with his magnetic energy, and actually communicating with his being and his form at this time. This is one way the entity known as Kryon interacts with your reality. There are interactions with this entity in your dream space, in your dream time. There are fields and frequencies that Kryon is continuously radiating into your reality that you pick up on, that you receive downloads from, that you receive inspiration and energy from. You have interacted with him in the astral realm from time to time. And there will be more interactions with this entity in your future. Yes, Kryon is very open to interacting with your reality in many forms, and is actually, in a sense, always doing so in some way, for he is constantly radiating his magnetic flux field energies into your world. And we sense part of your mission is very much connected to the simple idea of matching his energy, matching his vibrational field, and then choosing to share this with humanity. The idea the more you connect into Kryon's energy, the more that you connect into Kryon's energy field, the more you are able to match Kryon's energy. And Kryon's energy is somewhat coming through us at this time. There is a sharing of the energy from Kryon through us into you. And so you are very much experiencing this at this time. The idea, the more you can recognize this energy, the more you can recognize this frequency, and the more you can recognize this dimensional space within yourself, the more you will be able to sustain this frequency, sustain this energy throughout your day, and radiate it out into your world, assisting all those beings around you. So this is one way you are working with Kryon, and Kryon's energy is assisting you and humanity. So, a question from Lexi W. Hi, do you have any messages for me for my career or future? Do I originally come from Earth or other planets? Thank you. Lexi W, we sense you have connections to the blue avian system. We have spoken about the blue avians already in this transmission, so if you missed that, we suggest you go back and listen to the communication we gave already about the blue avians and their increased interaction with your civilization in 2023. We sense you are here to act as a healer, as a relay for the frequencies of many entities, including specifically the blue avians, into your reality. We sense you have the ability to tap into many timelines, many future realities, and bring back information, downloads from these realities. We sense you have very many psychic abilities in your being, and we sense you have connection with several high vibrational entities residing in the 6th density realm, very high frequency beings that are here to transmit very specific energies and very specific frequencies into your reality, the blue avians being one. So We sense you will become more clear on what your mission is. You will receive excitements, you will receive inspirations, you will receive downloads moving into the future through 2023, when the blue avians will be interacting with your reality more and more. And these insights and these inspirations will uplift your frequency, will uplift your vibrational space, and it will become very clear to you that you have the ability to act as a healer. Whether this manifests in the form of hands-on healing or not, this is up to you. What is most important is that you learn to recognize the frequencies of the blue avians, which are coming through us again to some degree at this moment. You learn to recognize the vibrational frequencies of the blue consciousness that the blue avians emit, and you learn to match this in your physical incarnation for the purpose of healing humanity, of uplifting the vibrational space of humanity in whatever form and whatever way these energies manifest in your world. We hope this helps. And so one way of looking at this is you could say you originate from the blue avian system, but it isn't exactly like that. For all of you humans originate from Earth. The idea is that on a soul level, you have many connections within many dimensions of reality, yourself specifically the blue avian system, as we are covering at this time. And so part of your mission is to bring through the blue avian frequencies into this world. We hope this helps. So, thank you for your, Amy, for your super chat and your gratitude. So Zen X Trinity asks, please go in detail about the Starseed origin and purpose. So we are sensing you are talking about your own personal Starseed origin and your connections to the hybrid civilizations, the Shikani, the Yayel. We sense you will be spending time aboard the Yayel mothership in the future, interacting with the hybrid children. We have this area upon our ship we have spoke of in the future, known as, we may call it a biodome, although it is more a pyramidal structure roof, where it has been designed in some way to look some like your botanical gardens on your Earth, so that you feel comfortable. We sense you will be spending time with the hybrid children in this area, specifically sharing information about the biodiversity of life on Earth, about plants, animals, nature, teaching them the information they need to know about how your civilization operates, what is considered okay, what is considered not, the societal structures, the religions, and more information about your world that you will become drawn to research over the coming years so you can share with the hybrid children. So we sense part of your path is interacting with the hybrid children aboard the ships, and in the future acclimatizing the hybrid children to life on your Earth. Amen. So, a question from Son of What? Could you tell me about my ET guides? One moment. We sense you have connections to the Sirius system. Which are also connected to the cetacean beings in your world, the dolphin beings. So we sense there is a connection with yourself, with the oceans on your world, with the dolphin beings, the cetacean beings, with the oceans of the Sirius system, the aquatic beings of Sirius, the semi-aquatic beings of Sirius, the amphibious beings, and the very grounding and healing energies of the Sirius system. So we sense that your strength and vitality in this reality is connected to your path as a healer in some form. Does not necessarily have to take the form of a traditional healer. It may be more about assisting in people and connecting with nature, connecting with your oceans, and the ability to connect with the consciousness of the Sirius system, the Sirius beings, and the Sirius starseeds on your earth. For there are many of you that have strong connections to the Sirius system, that are assisting in the reconnection of humanity to the oceans, to the dolphins, the whales, the cetacean beings, that can connect them to their counterparts in the Sirius system. And we sense that part of your mission is to spend time around the oceans, doing contact protocols, doing contact meditations around the oceans in areas where the cetacean beings, the dolphin beings are located. And this will be a highly harmonious environment for the Syrian ships that you are so strongly connected to come in your reality and begin to show themselves to humanity. So you have strong connections to the Sirius system and counterparts here, and we sense a path of introducing humanity to vibrational connection with the Sirius beings through connected to your Sirius world, and also inviting in the ships of the Sirius system so that people can experience the sightings of the ships in the skies over the ocean specifically, and Syrian energies. We hope this helps you, Son of What? So, a question from Anderson. I played Didgeridoo this week for my parents' friend this week, and I feel I can do the shamanic style music very easily. Any message for this event? Yes, tune into your heart. Tune into your heart's frequency. Tune into your heart's energy. Tune into your heart's code. Let the vibrations stem from your heart. Do not think too much about how you will share the music in the moment. More let the music emanate from your heart, emanate from your vibrational codes. There are very specific vibrational codes in your being, connected to the stars, connected to your galactic family that you are able to share through the playing of the Didgeridoo instrument. And this will act as a very subtle way to introduce the extraterrestrial frequencies into your family, into your friends, to this environment, without, in a sense, forcing it upon them, giving the opportunity to believe what they believe about the music. But the idea is that you have the ability to share specific vibrations that are connected to your genetic makeup, in a sense, connected to your vibrational frequency. And so the idea is that by tuning into your heart, by letting your intuition run free, not thinking too much mentally about what tunes, what expressions to play, but more by going in flow with the moment, you will naturally tune into your own core signature vibration, the essence of yourself, in a sense, your soul's vibration, your higher self's vibration, which is very much connected to the frequencies of star systems, including the Sirius system. There's no coincidence that this question has come straight after we have been discussing the Sirius energies, and you will be able to share these energies with the beings around you at this time. And of course, the idea of shamanic music is very much connected to the idea of connecting into the heart's consciousness, connecting to other beings' energies, and sharing them intuitively in a healing modality. So it is no coincidence that you are drawn to shamanic music. So, a question from Chai Pei Chang. What's the best path for me to utilize my body as a tool or any other tool, example cars, to transfer high frequency from higher dimensions to Earth? Well, really the idea of connecting with the higher self through the idea of following your excitement. The more you act upon your excitement in any given moment, whether that be working with your cards, working with energy healing, working with channeling, in whatever form you feel drawn to through your excitement, through your passion in the moment, we suggest you tune into that which excites you. If you feel excited by the idea of using cards to express the frequencies of these higher dimensions in your reality, then the cards will be the best modality because they are aligned with the frequency of your higher self. The idea is that your excitement is the guidance of the higher self, the higher mind, and your higher self is hinting that this is a very beneficial way to share in your reality. And the fact that the cards are aligned to your expression in this form, and the fact that they are also aligned with the guidance of your higher self, will enable you to access the highest frequency expression at that moment. But do not think that these should always be the way moving forward, because it is the possibility that your excitement will change. So whatever is the most exciting way in the moment to express these frequencies in your reality is the highest vibrational and most appropriate way to act in that moment. So tune into what excites you and what way you feel to express in this reality. So the best path is whatever is the most exciting way you feel drawn to express these energies in that moment. So Zen X Trinity says, what density do I inhabit currently? So you are currently inhabiting third density, as do all humans on Earth, though you are currently in the process of shifting into fourth density. So, we appear to have reached the end of the Super Chats. If you Phil, you shared a super chat that was not answered. Could you please speak up at the bottom here of the questions, and we will check this before we terminate the transmission. However, we do feel we answered them all. So we will now attempt to take a few questions at random. So, a question in a language that the channel does not understand. Surname being Takra. Is your soul guarded by a guardian angel? Is your soul guarded by guardian angel like human beings? Not exactly, for the guardian angel is actually a part of your soul. So you could say that your soul is guarded by a guardian angel, but it's more specifically that your guardian angel is part of your soul. And so we hope this answers your question. So the same questioner, we synchronistically connect to another part of the question. Do you have a, from Abafu Takra, do you have a soul just like human beings? Yes, we have a soul similar to human beings, although our soul is constantly fluctuating, is not so solidified. We, because we understand we create our own reality from the moment, often we will shift the makeup of our soul depending on what serves us in each and every given moment. So the soul is similar to the human being soul, although it is more malleable, and we have touched on this previous in the call, that you can actually change the makeup of your soul in the moment as we are coming to this timeline split in your reality. So our soul is more malleable, more in flux, more changing, but you can also match this at this time. What's one movie or TV show which is available on our planet which you'd want to watch? So we suggest Star Trek and Star Wars. They are both connected into themes of exploration that your collective consciousness is exploring. And so we find them fascinating and interesting because they are reflections and mirrors of the exploration of your consciousness on the world at this time. So, a question from Anchita Malhotra. Any processes that we can use to focus more into our desired reality to manifest that faster? Well, the idea of following your highest excitement moment to moment, for when you are following your highest excitement moment to moment, you are raising your frequency to the highest degree possible. And the higher your frequency goes, the more synchronicity you will create in your reality, which will accelerate the manifestation process. So, a question from Yayel Nadaf. Hi, I have been told I have 14 hybrid children. Are they all part of the Yayel civilization? Thank you. So, the idea is that the Yayel civilization is distinct to what is known as the hybrid children. The hybrid children are actually current timeline beings that are the direct offspring of the human Zeta Gray hybridization program and existing in this timeline, in this now. Whereas us, we are from your future, some 1,000 years or so in your future, and we have returned from the future into this timeline to assist you at this time. So the hybrid children you speak of are actually different from what you would know as the Yayel. In a sense, the Yayel are the somewhat great-great-grandchildren of the hybrid children you speak of. And so the hybrid children are that you speak of, as we understand it, are a unique species, a unique civilization to themselves, actually existing in this timeline. They are not from the future as we are. We hope this answers your question. So, question from Mecha X1. How different is your biology from the normal human biology? Like, do your cells divide as much as ours? Thank you and much love. Our cells actually divide much faster than your cells. We exist in a higher vibrational plane where our body is, in a sense, more crystallized, more what we may term crystalline in nature. The structure is slightly different to yours. There is less of a carbon makeup and more of a silicon makeup to our system. It is, in a sense, due to this, able to handle much higher frequency vibrations into its body, enabling us to teleport around the universe much more easily. And due to this, our cells actually divide at a much greater rate, and our physical body is constantly regenerating, as is yours, but at a much higher rate. Whereas it takes your body around 7 years to completely regenerate cellularly, it takes our body what you would know as 1 year in timing by your cellular sun, your solar cycle. So, a question from Ladislavnik. Could you tell me more about the other simultaneous incarnations I am making a connection with? Thank you. Well, the idea is that they are for the purpose of growth in this reality. So, we sense you also have connections with the Sirius system, and the purpose of your connection with these incarnations is somewhat similar to the previous question we gave about connections with the Sirius system, about learning to connect with the oceans, learning to connect with the cetacean species and the dolphins, that will thus connect you with the Sirius system, also the Pleiadian system to some degree. And so by spending time around the ocean, by spending time connecting with the cetacean beings, the dolphin beings, and even the whale species, you will be able to connect into your Syrian counterparts, your Pleiadian counterparts, and invite their ships into your skies so that you can actually observe their ships over your ocean. There are also some connections you have with the Orion system and the wars that occurred within the Orion system, and learning how to use love to neutralize warring factions in your reality and not fight fire with fire, but fight fire with water, or fear with love, as we could say. So this is another thing you can garner from your connections with other systems. And of course, all the purpose of connecting with your other connections, your soul counterparts in other systems, is for the purpose of understanding how you can use this knowledge to improve your own life and that of the beings around you. So, just 2 more questions we will quickly answer. How can I smoke cannabis in a positive way? Well, we suggest you use it in what you would call your vaporizing method so that it is more healthy on your lungs, and regularly detoxify your system to flush these toxins out your system, and also use it very rarely. Do not be using it regularly. It is far more beneficial, and you will find vastly more spiritual growth from it if you only use it once every few months rather than regularly. And a question from Anchita Malhotra: are there any advanced ways to lose weight other than diet and exercise? Follow your highest excitement moment to moment to the best of your ability, and your body will naturally harmonize and regenerate and come back to a harmonious weight. At this timing, we will hand you back to the channel. We will say thank you very much for interacting with us in this way at this time, and we shall see you in another now. Our love and our light to your dimension, Earth humans. Shiva and good day. Hey guys, welcome. That was a long channeling. I'm a little ungrounded. If you sent any super chats that didn't get answered, you can contact me. If you go to my website, jonathantrinity.com, and check out the contact page. I think there's a contact form and an email address, jonathan@jonathantrinity.com. Or you can connect with me over Facebook Messenger. You can have me on Facebook, Jonathan Trinity Martin, or you can connect with me in the chat box on YouTube. It might take an hour or two for this live stream to come visible again, because YouTube has to process it, sometimes even longer. And if you'd like to book a private session with me, you can visit my website, jonathantrinity.com. There's a link below. I also have a Learn to Channel course. If you'd like to learn to channel for yourself, I'm running a group live Learn to Channel course over Zoom throughout November. I believe the link to that is in the text box below, not this chat box, the other chat box that you'll be able to see it when this video comes back live. It's jonathantrinity.com/channeling. So it'd be great to have some of you join the channeling course. Everything's all there at jonathantrinity.com. The link's in the regular YouTube box below. And please hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this channeling. It really helps helps it get up in the ratings, and it helps me loads. It helps get this message out to a wider audience. The more likes and the more subscribes you get during the video, it's like YouTube upranks it and it'll start showing it to a wider audience, so more people will get this information. So you'll be doing your bit for first contact, as well as helping my channel grow. So please hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And check out jonathantrinity.com if you'd like to book a private channeling session. Or I run a coaching program as well. I've recently revamped the website, so check it out as well. So you can check out my cool new artwork I've been doing on there, jonathantrinity.com. And the coaching program, the private sessions, and the new Learn to Channel course I just launched just in time for today's call is that's going live in November, is all on there. So please like and subscribe. Please book a channeling session. Everyone's welcome. Join the coaching program. Join the Learn to Channel course if you'd like to work with a group. We do it with a group. It's really cool. It's really good fun. We've got a few regulars that come back every time I do this, and we have a lot of fun. And it's not serious, and don't worry about it. I'm not judging you. Don't get nervous. We just have a lot of fun, and we'll explore the idea of channeling. And if you don't feel you're ready, just do it anyway. Follow your excitement, ultimately. Don't listen to your mind. If you're thinking about doing the Learn to Channel course and you're like, I'm not sure I'm ready, I'm not sure I'm good enough, I'm a bit nervous about working with people, don't listen to your mind, listen to your heart. If it feels exciting, that's a guidance from your higher self that it's relevant for you no matter what the outcome. So it'd be great to see some of you guys joining the Learn to Channel course running in November. And so check out my website, jonathantrinity.com. And thank you very much, guys, for joining this live stream. It's been a very long one, 2 hours, 6 minutes, and so I've enjoyed it. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you for you guys that come regularly. Thank you, Dan Schroeder, for sharing that video with me. Check out Dan's link to his UFO sighting. It's super interesting. It's a really interesting video. He sent it to me earlier this morning. check out, if you scroll back through the super chats, it'll be available. You've got to wait for it all to process through YouTube. It might take like 7 hours or something for YouTube to process it and get this chat on the replay. But like certainly by tomorrow, the super chat replay, or this top chat, whatever they call it, this live chat replay will be available on the replay, on the recording. So you can go back through it, or you can keep your eye out for Dan Schroeder's UFO sighting, which is really interesting. It's a really good video, one of the best I've seen. I'm gonna look at it a bit again later, try and come to my own conclusions. And so yeah, so thank you to all you guys that regularly come on. I really appreciate you coming on every week and supporting this channel. And so I'm possibly doing channelings on Wednesdays at like I think midday. I do it an hour later on Wednesdays where I channel other entities. So, but I'll definitely be back next Saturday. So see you guys all next Saturday and possibly on Wednesday as well. Thank you very much. Love and light. And I'll see you all guys in another now. And sign up for the Learn to Channel course. It's really cool, really fun, and you're all welcome. Have a great day, guys. Shivai and good day. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. See you in another now.